But death outside Earth will not really be similar to what happens here. Ever wondered how do humans decompose on Mars? Though now all the earthly things about Mars are robots. Someday, hopefully very soon, humans will be there. It does not matter if we are sending just 4 humans or hundreds using a starship. Whether they are coming back or just going to be there with a one-way ticket. Someday, somehow someone is ought to die on Mars. It will rather be costlier and not very effective to bring the dead back home. The bodies may have to stay there. So, what will happen to the dead bodies on Mars? Earth, being our home planet, is very suitable for us when we are alive but also at our death. If a human body is left to rot or even buried, certain organisms will start to devour it and break down the elements that made the skin. The cells starts to break down as the bodily enzymes starts to destroy them in a process called autolysis. With time, even the bones will break down. But this is not a strict step-by-step process. There are no organisms on Mars to break down the cells. Mars's atmosphere has 95% carbon dioxide and only 0.16% oxygen. And the temperatures are quite cold for the matter of fact. In October 2020, Mars Insight reported the temperature to go as high as 4 degrees Celsius and minus 96 degrees Celsius during the night. There is also no liquid water on Mars. So, what will happen? Will the bodies freeze in its own bodily fluids, or it will be broken by its own enzymes? It seems everything is going to happen. At first, we have to remember that our bodies are a living home for billions of microbes and bacteria. As soon as you die on Mars, they will be the first ones to eat you, but if only they survive. There are a lot of reasons why the microbes may die. Mars do not have an ozone layer, so with UVA and UVB, it also receives more harmful UVC radiation. Most bacteria cannot survive UVC radiation. The ones that do will eat the dead bodies until they cannot eat anymore. But the best explanation can be given using an ancient horrible religious culture. The culture is known as Capacocha. In this practice, the bodies of the children were left to naturally become mummies in Atacama Desert. The higher altitude areas of Atacama are very much like Mars. Because of the absence of water and cold temperature, the bodies will mummify naturally. The bacteria inside of a human body, if not die, then will freeze in fluids and stay preserved. So, even if the bodies decay, it will take hundreds of years. On Mars, only the anaerobic bacteria that does not need oxygen to proliferate will survive till freezing. Then the frozen body will dry out, which will leave a well-preserved mummy that will make even the ancient Egyptians jealous. The dead bodies may stay preserved, but if we let it stay that way, that will be a waste of natural elements that can be used in other causes. Though cremation will not be possible because of the requirements of very high energy. And burial is just also a loss of potential biomass. The bodies may be stored in bags and then exposed to liquid nitrogen. After the body becomes defrozen and brittle, then the body will be shaken to turn into a powder. But what if you die on Moon? That will be a question for another video.